Hello, everybody. Welcome into our Kroger Kickoff here live just outside Sanford Stadium. I'm Brandon Adams. Happy to have you with us before Georgia gets ready to take on Georgia Tech coming up at noon today. And I got to tell you, we're in that Thanksgiving time of year where we're all expressing some gratitude. Here is what I have some gratitude to express today. We are back in Athens. We are back to having good weather again after the last 2 weeks of miserable winter conditions in Lexington, Kentucky last week, and Starkville, Mississippi the week prior to that. How nice does it feel to be back here in Athens today, where for now it's perfect fall weather. Now, before the day is done, rain, I guess, could be moving through here. Maybe kind of a rainy Saturday night wherever you are here in the metro Atlanta area or across the state of Georgia. But for now, things could not be more perfect. We'll actually hear from Atlanta News First meteorologist Ella Dorsey before the show is done today, too, about what the weather expects to be like inside the game. But as it stands right now, it could not be more perfect. Now, I also want to show you here, speaking of perfect, a perfect way to conclude the senior season for a lot of these Georgia seniors. The Dawg Walk for their final time at Sanford Stadium. You'll see them come rolling by here. And, of course, this has been a special group. Talk about the amount of wins they've collected here in a Georgia uniform. Talk about a national championship last year, to be the number one team in the country here right now, with a chance to move on into the college football playoff, the SEC championship next Saturday. And who knows, as we've been saying here for quite some time, a go-for-2 in 22 opportunity to bring home a second consecutive national championship. That's certainly a special opportunity here for what has proven to be a special group of players. And there are guys such as Stetson Bennett that we know will end his Georgia career here this season. There are other seniors, and most of the guys that sort of classify as seniors do have the technical capability to return next year. This was also the case last year. Remember, with COVID in 2020, every player was active and eligible on the roster at that time was given that extra year of eligibility. Some choose to use it, some don't. So last year you saw some seniors that participated in senior day and yet came back again for the 2022 season. Certainly the hope among Georgia fans is that some of the players they give big ovations and applause to today will be guys that also return maybe again next year, choosing to be a part of this Georgia roster one more time and be a part of that. But nonetheless, they'll still be given the greeting they deserve for the accomplishments they've been a part of. You know the history here. Georgia finished off an undefeated SEC stretch last week. The second straight year that Georgia's been unbeaten in SEC play. It's only happened, twice in the last 40 years in the SEC here. When you look at the overall historical significance of that, a chance to finish off another undefeated regular season here today against the hated in-state rival, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, in the rivalry game known as clean old-fashioned hay. So certainly these Georgia players well received as they come through the Dawg Walk on that, knowing that for many of them this will be the final time they ever play between the hedges, and there's obviously a special level of emotion connected with all of that. And I will tell you, while there's warm greetings to be had for the seniors, the honest truth is the overall vibe here around Sanford Stadium thus far has probably been a little bit sleepy, and sometimes that's the way that it is. Saturday after Thanksgiving, a lot of the students have gone back to their hometowns, and seemingly, more and more with each year, it seems like a lot of that student body here at the University of Georgia has hometowns that are far removed from Athens, maybe different than it would have been 20, 30 years ago. So the presence of the overwhelming presence of students today may not be quite what it was, certainly for the last Georgia home game against Tennessee, or maybe any other home game, prior to that. There's also the sentimentality, the nostalgia for a lot of the folks who might be here, knowing that's their last time to certainly be here for the season. And for many of these, as I said before, seniors in the regular student body, maybe their last time to be a part of this at all. So the vibe around this game, admittedly, is a little bit different than it would be for virtually any other game that Georgia's going to play here at Sanford Stadium. And yet I think the majority of Georgia fans certainly know and understand that you don't get too many chances like this to celebrate and be a part of a season such as this, or in any year to be here between the hedges. Truly one of the special on-campus environments for all of college football, and obviously Georgia fans looking forward to getting ready to enjoy that today. Dawg Walk continuing. And obviously you've seen those Georgia players come by. Great to see Kirby Smart stopping by and saying hello to those Georgia fans who kind of gather. Special group of Georgia fans selected to greet the team as they come through Sanford Stadium. Traditionally speaking, from where I'm standing here, kind of high atop the Tate Student Center, down in this Tate parking lot where the Dawg Walk typically rolls by, and you have fans kind of greeting the team on both sides. Then they enter the stadium underneath the West End Zone complex, and that's where a special group of fans will typically get to be inside the stadium and greet them there. And so we had a chance to see that just a few minutes ago. And as far as the senior presence here for Georgia. We'll show you the names on the screen of these guys here today who could be playing their final home game ever for the University of Georgia, and certainly, the special moment that is, and the special group this has been. Unbelievable, the collection of seniors, obviously probably headlined and highlighted by Stetson Bennett, but you keep your eye on Kearis Jackson and Christopher Smith and guys who have proven to be so important for Georgia here over the course of this run. It's been quite a stretch here for this Georgia team, and the seniors who've been a part of this, who've chosen to stick it out, who've chosen to be a part of this history-making endeavor, certainly today in so many ways is about celebrating their legacy, a legacy, by the way, that's still ongoing. Having a conversation with my brother on Thanksgiving, he brought up a really good point that after today, every game that Georgia will play for the rest of the season has a trophy. An SEC championship trophy, a bowl trophy in the semifinals of the college football playoff. At least that's what you hope Georgia's a part of. And then obviously the big one, the national championship trophy after that. And I can't help but think about how when we were at the home finale a year ago, I remember a reporter that I know works for a different organization, but was saying, hey, it could be that we're all back here again in January. And he was obviously referencing the possibility of a national championship celebration. And I got to tell you, as somebody who had, grown up around this program and watched this team year after year after year, the notion that, wow, you really could be back here again and see a parade roll by and see this team celebrated inside that stadium, that seemed like almost too big of an idea at the time to even try to speak into existence, that by talking about it, you were ruining the possibility that might actually happen. Well, we all know that is exactly the way it all played out. And so as I stand here today with Sanford Stadium just behind me, you can't help but wonder if the same thing could be true again. This mission of go for 2 and 22, if it really could result in this not being the last time we gather in Sanford Stadium, that all of us are here today and many others of you who would like to be here today but can, maybe we do get a chance to be right back at this again back in January and seeing that parade come rolling by and seeing that team celebrated. It'll be shivering and cold probably, but the feeling will be unimaginable to be able to do that for a second consecutive year. There's a lot of work to be done for that to be a possibility, but it certainly looms as a very real possibility if Georgia takes care of its business starting today, continuing today, and then rolling through the rest of the postseason. You're watching our Kroger Kickoff. We're happy to have you here today as a part of our program. We appreciate our friends at Kroger for making it all possible, and we're excited about what Kroger can do for you. This holiday season is a time in which everybody's looking to save whatever money they can and looking to really have the best ideas for the kinds of gifts that you want to give the people to buy in your life. And in some cases, the people that you need to buy for, not always the easiest to buy for, but that's where Kroger can step in here. When you start buying some of those Christmas and holiday gifts early here right now, you get a great incentive to do that because you're going to be able to earn 4 times the fuel points on gift card purchases and with digital coupons. That's going on right now all the way through December 6th. So stop by your local Kroger. Those gift card purchases that you're probably already making, because for some people that's the only thing that they say they want. So get those gift cards for them or use those digital coupons. And when you do, between now and December 6th, you're going to get a chance to take advantage of 4 times the fuel points right now at your local Kroger. All right, other news of note for Georgia as it relates to this game here against Georgia Tech today. Obviously, one of the things we're watching very closely is the injury situation. In fact, let's go ahead and roll into our injury report presented by the Durham Law Group. All eyes continue to be on Georgia wide receiver A.D. Mitchell, who this week Kirby Smart probably spoke more hopefully of than really he has at any point in time over the course of this long journey that Mitchell's been on to get back and be a part of this team as an active player. We saw him just briefly against Auburn. It seems like somewhere around that time, maybe the high ankle sprain that Mitchell was dealing with was re-aggravated. We have not seen him play since then. And yet it sounds like as of late he's been doing a little bit more at practice. Does that mean he plays today? Does that mean we see him in uniform today? Does this provide a little bit of a precursor to what might be an appearance in the SEC Championship next Saturday? So all eyes will certainly be on Georgia wide receiver Adonai Mitchell today as far as what his availability ends up being. I think the same thing's true along the offensive line there too. Last week we saw Tate Ratledge dressed. He obviously traveled to Lexington, Kentucky, but ended up not playing for the Bulldogs last week. How about Ratledge and his status for today? That's also something we will be watching very closely. Georgia, if as it plays is more than a 35-point favorite today, you would certainly think it's got the comfort and the flexibility to kind of play who it wants, rest who it wants, or maybe get guys out of today's game pretty early if all goes according to plan. But obviously, this is also a Georgia team that's probably eager for the noon start, a little bit of a head start on its opponent for next week, LSU, who does not play until later on this evening, and maybe coming out aggressively, building that big lead. That's what you hope if you're a Georgia fan anyway, creating the opportunity to get guys some rest. Or in the case of a guy like Mitchell, if he is healthy enough to play, it could be that Georgia wants to give him at least a few snaps to kind of get him ready for what they hope is probably a more involvement in the game next week against LSU. We'll make that our injury report presented by Durham Law Group. And, of course, your own injuries matter to you. And if you've been hurt and injured in an accident, you've been hurt at work, something like that, you want to trust our friends at the Durham Law Group because they don't just practice personal injury law, they define it. What that means is for you, no fees, no expenses unless you win. Durham Law Group sets that up to say, hey, if you don't benefit from your situation, we don't think we should benefit from your situation. That's the promise they're willing to make for you. So have them on your side to fight hard for you if you find yourself hurt, automobile accident, or injured at work, or something that might have happened to cause you some harm. Go ahead and do the work that needs to be done to be made whole again. Our friends at the Durham Law Group can help you out with that. So you can give them a call, 844-4GA-HURT. That number, once again, 844-4GA-HURT. You can also find them online at georgiahurt.com. That is georgiahurt.com. You can find them there for a lot more on that. All right, the weather right now is absolutely perfect, but will it remain that way for the rest of the game? Well, the person that we trust to tell us more about that each and every week is Atlanta News First meteorologist Ella Dorsey, and she joins us now as a part of our R.S. Andrews weather report to give us an idea what to expect from today's game day weather. Here's more from Ella Dorsey right now, courtesy of our friends at R.S. Andrews.
Hey, Dog Nation and Dogs fans. First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey here. We got to talk about this weekend. We got two separate rain systems that are going to move through. Thanksgiving will be dry. For Black Friday, it looks like very rainy conditions through the majority of the day. That rain moves out Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday day look dry. And then more rain spreads in Saturday overnight into Sunday. Now, the timing on that secondary system, we're still kind of narrowing in on. But right now in Athens, it does look dry through the game. So if you are headed to the Classic City, it will be cloudy for your tailgating. It will be cloudy through the day, possibly some light drizzle, maybe some mist, but no heavy rain through the game. 60 at kickoff, 61 by the time you're walking out of the stadium. It is Saturday night into Sunday that rain moves in. Now, we're giving you this forecast a little bit early because it is Thanksgiving week, so things could change. That's why it's a great idea to download our app. You can scan this QR code right above my head. Guys, our entire team updates this app 5 or 6 times a day with hourly forecasts. It's not computer generated. So if you have our app as you head to the game, you'll be able to check current radar, future radar, and stay tuned to the latest forecast. Go Dogs.
All right, we certainly appreciate Ella Dorsey from Atlanta News First bringing our game day forecast to us, and we appreciate our friends at R.S. Andrews make it possible there as well. Don't forget, you can see Ella each and every morning on Atlanta News First on Channel 46 there in the Atlanta area. And don't forget, you can see R.S. Andrews every single day as a part of what we do at Dog Nation, including our R.S. Andrews Cool Down after each and every edition of Dog Nation Daily. And, of course, R.S. Andrews, the one you turn to for your air conditioning, heating, plumbing, electric needs. I think we've actually had the heat and the AC on at our house the last couple of days. You know, warm during the day, you want to cool things off, and then a little cold at night, you get that heat back going again. Whatever your choice is, or if you have a plumbing issue or a electrical issue, something like that, your friends at R.S. Andrews can give you covered on that, because story after story, they have been delivering smiles, and they can deliver a smile for you there as well. So make sure you find them online, rsandrews.com. Dari Payro and the entire team at R.S. Andrews have been longtime friends of ours, and here on this Thanksgiving weekend, we are certainly grateful for them. In fact, they're also a big part of our upcoming week's worth of events, Go for 2 in 22, as we're calling it, a huge week of action. It starts on Wednesday. We're going to be live at the Marlows in Brookhaven for a great live broadcast, a preview of the SEC Championship, getting ready for an exciting event. Obviously, all kinds of fun and surprise on hand with Dog Nation, live broadcasts, special Q&A, the chef-inspired food, the craft cocktails, all the things that make Marlowe's Tavern so great and famous. We're going to do that this upcoming Wednesday, live at the Marlowe's in Brookhaven. Hope to see you there for that. And then on Saturday, our Go for 2 in 22 special kickoff tailgate event. 3 hours prior to the SEC championship. Going to be open bar and all the food you want to enjoy. Got special entertainment. And then, of course, a Go for 2 and 22 t-shirt, a special second generation, brand new design on that Go for 2 and 22 t-shirt. We're going to be giving those away to the first 200 people that sign up. Now, we should be getting very, very close to 200 to be frank, because I haven't gotten an update on this since we had the Thanksgiving holiday. But my guess is you can still squeeze in there and get your way in and go ahead and get signed up to be one of our first 200 to be a part of the event, to get the Go for 2 and 22 t-shirt and be a part of a great, great day for Dawg Nation coming up next Saturday. So that's going to be exciting next week as we go for 2 and 22, getting ready for the SEC championship and getting ready for what we hope is the college football playoff after that, and the possibility of a number 2 national championship, repeat national championship for Georgia coach Kirby Smart and these Dogs. But before any of that, there is business to be taken care of here today at home in the regular season finale against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in the rivalry game known as Clean Old-Fashioned Hate. So stay close to Dawg Nation throughout the day. Mike Griffith, Connor Riley from inside the stadium. They'll have reporting for you all day long. Really fun photographs, obviously, coming from Jeff Sintel, who'll be down there on the field. And then after the game, I'll see you for the Dawg Nation postgame show presented by the UGA bookstore. What a great day it will be to be back there again. And we'll welcome in, of course, Terrence Edwards. And obviously a great collection of autographs throughout the day here at the UGA bookstore there as well, including Malcolm Mitchell and former Pro Football Hall of Famer Richard Seymour's there today. All that kind of going on right now. Buck Ballou, I know, is there today. So you got a great collection of autograph signings taking place at the UGA bookstore. So that's going on right now. You can go be a part of that. And then we'll see you at the UGA bookstore after the game for our Dawg Nation postgame show. So enjoy this one. Hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend there as well. Still munching on all those leftovers. I'm sure that's delicious for you. So thanks for being a part of our Kroger Kickoff. We'll see you after the game for our Dawg Nation postgame show presented by the UGA bookstore at the UGA bookstore. We'll look forward to talking to you then.